Welcome. I'm Grace Fox, author of Names of God, Living Unafraid, and I'm excited that you've chosen to take this faith journey with me. Living Unafraid is the first in a series of 3 books in which we'll discover more about who God is as revealed through His names. I chose to address the theme of living unafraid first in this series because the world in which we live is a scary place right now. We hear of wars and rumors of wars, and we wonder just how widespread these wars might go. We don't have to look far to find people who've been personally affected by the conflicts happening even as I speak. We've also seen numerous natural disasters in the recent past, like earthquakes, floods, tornadoes, and fires. Again, we don't have to look far to find those personally affected. Perhaps you're one of them. So, what does the future hold? No one really knows, but of this one thing we can be sure: more than ever, we need an anchor to hold us secure when the storm winds blow. We need that anchor when the storm strikes closer to home, too, like when a family relationship turns difficult and disappointing, or when money runs short, or when we face a medical crisis. How about when we leave everything familiar to move to a new location for a new job? Or when our kids make choices that we know will take them down a disastrous path, but hey, we can only say so much. Fear is common to mankind. I get it. I've struggled with fear too. I've learned some intentional actions to help me face it and diffuse it so it can't take me hostage like it used to, but it still pops up occasionally and I have to deal with it again. For me, studying the names of God and applying them to my circumstances has been life-changing. It's been an exercise in discovering the riches that are mine as a child of God. Tim Keller once gave an illustration about an 8-year-old boy playing with a truck when it suddenly broke. The boy cried to his parents to fix it, but even as he cried, his dad told him that a distant relative he'd never met had just died and left him $100 million. The news didn't faze the boy one bit because he didn't have the capacity to understand the implications of what his dad said. He only cried louder until his parents fixed the toy. Keller said, "In the same way, Christians lack the spiritual capacity to realize all we have in Jesus." My friend, I think Keller was right. If fear robs us of joy and steals our peace and leaves us sleepless and anxious, the problem is not God. The problem lies with us and the fact that we don't understand the resources that belong to us when we belong to the Most High God. It's time to grow in our understanding of those spiritual resources so we can learn to live unafraid. As you read this book, you'll discover where the 7 featured names of God first appeared in Scripture and the circumstances surrounding those first appearances. Those names are Yahweh, the name that reveals the relationship aspect of God's deity; Yahweh Zitkenu, the Lord is our righteousness; Yahweh Roi, the Lord is my shepherd; Yahweh Yireh, the Lord will provide; Yahweh Zitvaot, the Lord of hosts; Yahweh Shammah, the Lord is there; and El Elyon, Most High God. You'll see how the names relate to other passages in the Bible and how Jesus lived out those names when he lived on earth. I've shared personal stories and I've interviewed other women so you could hear their stories and connect the dots between the teaching and real life. The questions at the end of each chapter will take your growth another step further. Take the time to read the suggested scriptures and answer the questions thoughtfully. Together with a friend or two or a group, delve into those questions and share your honest responses to them. With this book having been soaked in prayer, I believe God will use the truths in its pages to encourage you and even change your life. So get ready for the ride. I pray for God's blessing over you this week, and I want you to know you are loved.